Hello everyone and welcome back to the 3T Path channel. Welcome back to our Uddhava-gita course. Now we're still continuing with this wonderful chapter where Krishna describes the glories of God, of the glories of himself, how he is the supreme. We can understand its beautiful meditation verses that help you connect things from life, from the world to Krishna, to understand the position of God beyond everything else. It's a wonderful chapter. It's very beautiful and poetic, and it's just like chapter 10 of the Bhagavad-gita, and Krishna mentioned that in the beginning of the chapter when Uddhava asked him for him to understand his position as God. Now, we are continuing with beautiful verses, so let's get started. And of course, hey, this is the 90th class of our Uddhava-gita course. So congratulations to you if you've been watching it from the beginning. Let me know if you've been watching it from the beginning and leave a comment below. This is the 90th class. We still have a long way to go. So, my Brazilian version of this course had 270 plus classes. So we're about a third of the way through, I think. But, there's a lot of content, and if you want to watch the whole thing, all you have to do is just become a member of this channel. It's really simple, and the instructions are here in the description of the video. Become a member of the channel, and then go to Uddhava-gita.com, and you can access the whole course. Wonderful course for you. Invite your friends to watch. So we are in the 11th canto, 16th chapter, verse 27. Krishna says, Krishna is speaking to Uddhava, among the vigilant cycles of time, I am the year, and among seasons, I am spring. Among months, I am Margashira, and among lunar houses, I am the auspicious Abhijit. Verse 28, among ages, I am Satya Yuga, the age of truth. And among steady sages, I am Devala and Asita. Among those who have divided the Vedas, I am Krishna Dvapayana Vyasa. And among learned scholars, I am Shukracharya, the knower of spiritual science. So, of course, of the ages, Krishna will be Satya Yuga. There's 4 ages in Satya Yuga. The golden age is the age of truth, where there's the most Dharma around. And of course, among those who divided the Vedas, he is Krishna Dvapayana Vyas. So, Veda Vyas, Vyasadeva is the compiler of all these different Vedas, of the Bhagavad-gita, of the Mahabharata, of the Bhagavad Purana. And he's actually an avatar. He actually is an avatar of Krishna. So he's the editor. Vyas means editing, editor. So he's the editor of the Vedas. So of course, Krishna is actually, so Vyasadeva is actually an incarnation of God, of Krishna. Verse 29. Among those entitled to the name Bhagavan, I am Vasudeva. And indeed you, Uddhava, represent me among the devotees. I am Hanuman among the Kimpurushas, and among the Vidyadharas, I am Sudarshana. This is very interesting. So, of course, Bhagavan, we always say Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So there's this mantra. There's in this channel, you can see a whole video where I describe this famous mantra we chant. So, Bhagavan, Bhag means opulences. Bhag means opulences. Van, full of. So, Bhagavan is a title for full of opulence, full of power. All the powers and opulences you can imagine: wealth, beauty, fame, intelligence, renunciation. So everything that's powerful. Bhag is Bhag, and Bhagavan, God. So God is Bhagavan, and Vasudev is the name we use for Krishna, the all-expanding, all-encompassing aspect of Krishna, Vasudev. And this is really nice. Among devotees, I am you, Uddhava. Can you imagine Uddhava is listening to this? And so Krishna is saying the topmost thing of all the categories, and in the topmost position among the category of devotees is Uddhava. Uddhava's right there. He gets the number one. He gets the prize, you know. So Uddhava is the number one devotee of Krishna. This is like, hey, among devotees, I'm you. Uddhava, you're the best devotee there is. So that's very nice. And among the Kimpurushas are almost human-like Kimpurushas. So you know, like Planet of the Apes. So then they look kind of human, but not quite human. They kind of look like a monkey, but not quite. So that's Kimpurusha, like you're human. That's, you know, so Planet of the Apes style. So that's Hanuman. Hanuman then takes the position as the best of the Kimpurushas. Purport. The Vedic literature state that one who possesses perfect knowledge of the creation and destruction of all entities and who is completely situated in omniscience is to be known as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan. Although many great personalities are sometimes called Bhagavan, ultimately Bhagavan is the one supreme entity who possesses unlimited opulences. Throughout history, many important personalities have been addressed as Lord, but ultimately there is only one Supreme Lord. In the Lord's Chaturvyuha, or quadruple expansion, the first manifestation is Vasudeva, who here represents all of the Lord's expansions in the Vishnu Tattva category. So of course the Vishnu Tattva category means that category of existence of God. So we talk about three Tattvas: Vishnu Tattva, so God; Jiva Tattva, the souls; and Prakriti Tattva, the material energy. So there's this three, if you want to divide existence into this most basic blocks, you could divide it in these three blocks, these three tattvas. And of course the Vishnu Tattva, the God, Tattva, the God block, is of course Krishna, and here is represented by Vasudeva, Krishna says, because he's like the formal expansion of Krishna, Vasudeva. Verse 30, among jewels, I am the ruby. Interesting, isn't it? It's not the diamond, he's the ruby. I thought that was interesting. And among beautiful things, I am the lotus cup. And among all types of grass, I am the sacred kusha. And of oblations, I am ghee and other ingredients obtained from the cow. It's very interesting verse. So first, among jewels, he's the ruby, not the diamond, not emeralds, not sapphire. Krishna chose the ruby to be like the most important, most fabulous jewel. So Krishna is the ruby. And beautiful things, the lotus cup. So the sacred kusha grass, you always see when you're hearing these descriptions of meditation, you'll see that the yogi is supposed to sit on kusha grass. So, or if they're doing a yajna, a sacrifice, they sit on kusha grass. If the yogi is meditating, kusha grass. Usually if it's a long-term meditator, it's the grass plus deer skin on top to keep it a little warmer and keep away the bugs and stuff. So you always see that kusha grass is always there. And you can still get mats of kusha grass in India. You could buy them, in the streets. And oblations, I am ghee and other ingredients obtained from the cow. And that's why the cow is so important. The cow isn't sacred in the sense of being God. The cow is very important because from the cow they would get ghee, and then from this is the best kind of oblation offering that it would be put on offer to the fire sacrifice. So the sacrifices were always based on fire. And what would you offer on the fire? The ghee, because ghee is oil. It's the oil of the butter. So it burns very nicely. So you put it on the fire and the fire goes whoo. So you would offer ghee. Of course, this is back in the days when the cow is highly respected, again, not sacred as in holy, as in, like something, but as in sacred and something that's very much appreciated and taken care of and loved. So the cows were beautifully taken care of. So you don't have to worry. It's not like current situation where we ask people to be vegan because the cows are so mistreated, everything is so horrible. You know, it's a little complicated, you know, the whole, you know, I can understand if you want to use milk products and cheese, understandable, but, you know, it is better to be vegan because there is such mistreatment of cows. So if you can, be vegan. But back in Krishna's days, you know, of course, Krishna was a cow herder all over Vrindavan, so it's very beautiful partnership between cows and humans. So it was very nice, you know, so there was no problem at all using milk products, of course. It was very nice. And it was necessary because there was no such thing as a B12 supplement that you could buy, you know, on Amazon or something. So, and without B12, you can't be a vegan. So if you don't supplement B12, you'll just die. Humans can't survive without that. So it was actually impossible pre-industrial era, pre-B12 supplement era. It was actually impossible to be a vegan. So it's not a natural diet in that sense. You do need milk products to be healthy as a vegetarian. Purport. Panchagavya refers to 5 sacrificial ingredients obtained from the cow, namely milk, ghee, yogurt, dung, and urine. And of course, it's very interesting, it's a bit shocking for Westerners who are not used to this culture, that the dung of the cow, the poop, is the cow's poop. It's like, oh, gross. But no, it's actually pure. It's actually, you know, you'd see like these people, they would cover their huts with dung inside because it's actually antibacterial. It's not like human. If you put it with human dung, it would be a disaster. You die. But with cow dung, you can actually use it to purify things. The cow is very interesting. It's fascinating. You can see it's like God's plan is this amazing creature. The cows and the humans have this beautiful partnership. So even the dung of the cow, of course, it's wonderful it's necessary and wonderful for the crops, but it was also used for purification, for keeping the huts clean. So they would cover the huts, and they would also use it as a fuel. Even to this day, you'll see in India little piles, like you see, like it looks like, what's these little piles? Like little piles of cow dung, and they would just get them and put them in the fire, so you can have a cow dung fire. So it's fuel. It was an antibacterial substance they would use, and of course it was, you know, fertilizer for the crops. Just the dung. And the cow urine is like, oh, gross! It's cow pee. It's disgusting. But actually, it's used. If you study Ayurveda, it's actually used in many things in Ayurveda. So even the cow urine was you know, is healthy and useful for humans. It's a fantastic. And then, of course, you have milk, yogurt, and butter. And then from the butter, you get ghee. So all these things, that's why you can see Krishna. That's why the whole Krishna Leela is based on cows, you know, on cow herding, because it was just this wonderful partnership between humans and cows, you know, and then the cows would have the grass, and you just, you know, the pasture grounds and the river. It's just wonderful. You just take the cows out into the pastures, and then you help them, you know, get the grass, and then they get the water, and then you get the milk, and it's quite beautiful. The cow is so valuable that even its dung and urine are antiseptic and fit for sacrificial offering. Kusha grass is also used for religious occasions. Maharaj Parikshit constructed a sitting place from Kusha grass during the last week of his life. So this Bhagavad Purana is, of course, being spoken to Maharaj Parikshit. He's hearing these very verses you're hearing, and he's sitting on Kusha grass listening to this. Among beautiful things, the lotus cup formed by lotus petals represents Lord Krishna, and among jewels, the ruby, which is similar to Lord Krishna's own Kaustubha gem, symbolizes the potency of the Lord. Verse 31. Among the enterprising, I am fortune, and among the cheaters, I am gambling. I am the forgiveness of the tolerant and the good qualities of those in the mode of goodness. So this is also very interesting. I love this. Those who are enterprising, they're doing things to get fortune. So of the enterprising, I am fortune. That's a great line for all those who are entrepreneurs and these people who are out there trying to, make their life, make their goals, So of the enterprising, I am fortune, Krishna says. But I love this. Among the cheaters, I am gambling. This is great, isn't it? I mean, if you think it's a good idea, gambling, that's one of the reasons we don't gamble, is because gambling is, it's just for cheating. It's how you get cheated. So of the cheaters, I am gambling. There's no greater way of cheating than, getting involved with gambling. It's a terrible thing. It can be addictive. It destroys lives. It does destroy lives. People get addicted. It's very bad. So avoid gambling. People ask me, what about lottery? Lottery's, it's a little, if you just do a little thing, it's fine. You're helping the government, you're helping some good causes. It's okay. But like proper gambling, online sports gambling, it's just like a world of, just like a dark pit that you just get into and you could really destroy your life with it, so be very careful. Casinos and online gambling, sports gambling, it's very, very serious stuff, very, very bad. I am the forgiveness of the tolerant. So not only, of the things, so we were talking about of the categories of things, right? So we had jewels, we had, kimpurushas, we had devotees. So we had categories of things, and Krishna was the topmost thing in that category. So that's one way of understanding the glory of Krishna, the greatness of Krishna, the greatness of God. But there's also this other section, this other aspect of this part, of this kind of Aishvarya. Remember, we're talking about Aishvarya Jnana. That's how what we call this. Aishvarya, glory, power, Jnana, knowledge. So the other point you have to understand about Aishvarya Jnana is that Krishna, God, isn't just the greatest thing in terms of like material things, but also the qualities. So the greatest qualities also come from Krishna. So you have to understand that Krishna is the source of everything material and also the qualities. So not just that the sun and the moon and the stuff, but also the qualities. So the forgiveness of the tolerant person has the great quality of forgiveness. But that quality comes from Krishna. That quality is coming from Krishna. So if a person is tolerant, it's thanks to Krishna that person is tolerant. He got that quality from Krishna. If you're kind, you got kindness from Krishna. If you're intelligent, you got your intelligence from Krishna. If you're famous, you got your fame from Krishna. If you're wealthy, you got your wealth from Krishna. That's how it works. That's the idea. When we're talking about God as a source of everything, He's a source of everything, everyone, and all the qualities as well. So if you want to become tolerant, you pray to Krishna. If you want to become kind, you pray to Krishna. If you want to become famous, you pray to Krishna. Whatever you want, you can go to the source and ask Krishna for that, and make sure you're asking for a good reason, not just because you have a big ego, but because you want to serve Krishna with those qualities. You want to be tolerant so you can please Krishna by being tolerant. You want to be kind so you can please Krishna with your compassion. You want to be intelligent so you can serve Krishna better. That's the idea. And he says, and all the good qualities of those in the mode of goodness, because when you're in sattva guna, then you have all these good qualities developed in you. So if you want good qualities, you have to cultivate sattva guna. So there's all those habits, and in the 3T Path book, I talk about all these habits you can cultivate to be in sattva guna. Very important. Cleanliness, the diet you choose, the kind of culture you absorb, the people you hang out with. So all these things influence your mode, if you're in tamas, rajas, or sattva. And the more you can be in sattva guna, the more good qualities you can manifest by the grace of Krishna. Verse 32. Of the powerful, I am bodily and mental strength, and I am the devotional activities of my devotees. My devotees worship me in 9 different forms, among which I am the original and primary Vasudeva. So here, of the powerful, so who's a powerful person? Can be powerful, bodily, like strength, muscles. We can be powerful mentally, or both. So, but all that power it's coming. It's from Krishna. So he is that power. He is that strength that people have. So strength comes from Krishna. And he's the devotional activities of the devotees, because what's the best thing about a devotee is the devotional activity. And then he's also that devotional activities. So when you pray to Krishna, and you'll see the great souls praying to Krishna for bhakti. That is the best kind of prayer. If you're really wise, if you really understood things well, when you pray to Krishna, you're praying for bhakti. Above all, of course, you can play, I want some, I want to be healthy, I don't want to be sick, it's a pain. So you pray for some health, you can pray for your health, but you don't have to, because Krishna, He'll give you the best already. He'll give you the best you need and the best thing for you. But you can ask for it if you can help yourself, ask for health and ask for money, but you don't have to. But you should ask for bhakti. That you should actively ask for. Krishna, please let me, you'll see all the great devotees praying, they ask for service. They always ask, please let me never forget you. That is the prayer you'll see throughout the Bhagavad Purana of all the great souls. Their number one prayer is, please do not let me forget you. I want to be Krishna conscious all the time. That is the number one prayer. So that's what you can pray for. Please let me, my mind be always on my mind. I'll be always present. Let me be always remembering you. And then bhakti. Give me bhakti. Let me serve you. Give me qualities. Let me be better. Let me serve you better. And so I'm always praying. I always pray for that every morning, all day long. I'm praying for that. And you should pray too. It's wonderful. Just ask for that. Ask for bhakti. Ask to be qualified to serve Krishna, to be better, to serve Krishna better. That's what we should ask for. Purport. Generally, the Vaishnavas worship the personality of Godhead as Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, Narayana, Hayagriva, Varaha, Nrsimha, and Brahma. Excuse me. It is understood that when a suitable living entity is not available to fill the post of Brahma, the Lord himself assumes the position. Therefore, Lord Brahma is mentioned in the list. Lord Vishnu sometimes appears as Indra and sometimes as Brahma, and it is Vishnu appearing as Brahma who is indicated in this connection. So there's this list, this Nava Murti, 9 forms of worshipping God traditionally. So the list is this: Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. These are the Chaturvyuha, the first 4 expansions of Krishna, and which we mentioned when we said Bhagavan, the title of Bhagavan a few verses back. And then Narayana, which is like Krishna in full opulence, in Vaikuntha, 4-armed form. That's Narayana as well. These are all 4-armed forms, by the way. Hayagriva, Varaha. Varaha is the famous boar form. And Nrsimha, we have here in the altar. So Nrsimha, the half lion, half man form. And then the last one mentioned here is Lord Brahma. In Lord Brahma, there was the acharyas here were careful to just understand why. Because normally Lord Brahma is a soul. So we don't worship Lord Brahma because even though he is the most powerful, we all respects to Lord Brahma and everything, we fall at his feet and everything, because he's our father, right? He's the one who started, he's the grandfather of everyone here in the universe. If you're alive in the universe, it's thanks to Lord Brahma, who built the whole universe, who seeded the whole universe. So we're in all respects to Lord Brahma, Wonderful service. And of course, he's our number one guru as well. If you see our parampara, Lord Brahma is there. So he's our, ancient guru as well. So he deserves endless respect and honors, Lord Brahma. But we don't worship Lord Brahma primarily because Lord Brahma is a devotee of Krishna, of Narayana. So, we follow our guru and we worship Krishna, Narayana as well. So we worship Krishna. But Lord Brahma is mentioned because sometimes the post of Lord Brahma is, you need to be so qualified to have that post, to assume the responsibility of being Lord Brahma. It's so much it's like crazy responsibility. You have to be so good that sometimes there isn't a suitable candidate from the bank of souls. So Lord Krishna has to assume the position as Lord Brahma. Verse 33. Among the Gandharvas I am Vishvasu, and I am Purvachiti among the heavenly Apsaras. I am the steadiness of mountains and the fragrant aroma of the earth. So this is one of, the first two we don't know much about Gandharva culture, so we don't really have that much knowledge about Vishvavasu and much less of the Apsaras, the heavenly Apsaras. They're like the ladies of Swarga, and they dance and they're very beautiful. They're infinitely beautiful. So we don't know much about them, but he's saying he's Purvachiti. But this is really good. This is really nice. I'm the steadiness of mountains. So this is what I was saying in the beginning of this class. These verses help you create this beautiful meditation where you can walk around and you can see a large hill, or if you're lucky enough to live close to mountains and you see a mountain, and then that's, that steadiness of the whole giant mountain, and like, oh, that's Krishna. It connects you to Krishna. So like just a mountain now will directly infuse you with bhakti. It's very nice. These verses are very nice for that. And this one, it's also in Bhagavad-gita, and I love this one. I'm the fragrant aroma of the earth. Because all aroma comes from the earth. All those flowers are mystic creatures. I've always seen flowers as mystic creatures because they're just on earth. And from that earth, you can grab the same earth they're growing in, and you don't smell anything, but somehow that mystic being of a rose, of a jasmine, takes something from that and creates the perfume of a rose, of a jasmine, of all those beautiful flowers. It manages to extract that fragrancy from the earth. So I always remember this verse. I'm the fragrant aroma of the earth, because all the aromas are on the earth, and in these mystic little beings, the different flowers, they manage to extract that and share it with us. Very beautiful. Purport. In Bhagavad-gita 7:9, Lord Krishna says, Punyo Gandha Pritivyam Cha. I am the fragrance of the earth. The original fragrance of the earth is very pleasing and represents Lord Krishna. Although unpleasant aromas may be artificially produced, they do not represent the Lord. Okay, so that's very beautiful. Let's stop here and we'll continue. We'll have more of these wonderful verses in the next class. I hope you can join me. I hope Krishna lets us continue. And have your rest of your day with lots of peace and lots of love.